So Tanya Clement, you just gave a great talk. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and give us a little recap of what you just covered for us at JAS?
Sure. I am an assistant professor at the School of Information at the University of Texas. My study right now, or my research, is on how we can use machine learning and visualization with sound collections to make them more accessible for scholars and for archivists.
So your presentations showed sound made visible, and it demonstrated how we can see new things in sound when we start looking at it in a different way. When we render it in colors and render silences visually. What sorts of research do you see as potentially coming out of this? This seems like a platform to facilitate new uses for sound. What kinds of things are you imagining might come out of this?
For me, the new research comes out of new kinds of access, and so my focus right now is really on trying to make sound accessible. There's a visual aspect to it, in part because the software creates spectrograms, but the sound is there as well. You couldn't see that because the video didn't play, but the sound happens while you're looking at the visualization, and those two things together help you pinpoint patterns, I think, within the sound. There's a variety of people that we've been working with who have all kinds of research questions that they didn't have previously. Some of the examples I gave were people that are interested in audience interactions with performers. So whether it's a poet reciting a poem, or whether it's a performance, musical or speech otherwise. And we've been looking at, crowd noises such as applause or laughter or call and response in some of the projects that we've been looking at. Other researchers are interested in the recording artifacts, the sound of recording artifacts to help with provenance. Still others are interested in the influences of certain kinds of speaking over other performers. One of our researchers is very interested in incantation in poetics.
Wow.
And thinking through which communities of poets use this kind of means to perform their poems. I think there's a variety of uses that the interest to me is the fact that those kinds of research questions are much more difficult if you don't have a system that allows you to compare sounds, to pull out patterns, to search on sounds with sound, and really to think as a culture we're very good at talking about what words mean. We spend a lot of our time looking at texts on the table, but we don't spend a lot of time listening and thinking through how the sonic aspects of our cultural heritage objects are actually quite meaningful.
Sure, and one of the things that's interesting to me about your talk and your perspective, the perspective that you're bringing to the Digital Asset Symposium, is we've had a lot of people talking about the longevity of digital assets, and this project seems like it's taking assets that are not digital, rendering them digital, and thereby extending their lifespan,
Right.
and extending their research interest and their viability as heritage.
Yes.
So you're sort of flipping the script for us. What does this mean for archives and collections of sound? Are you approaching new people or new collections to sort of see about what collections you can leverage as test beds for your innovations?
Yes. So I've been approached by lots of people who are interested, primarily because of what you pointed at was that, especially in terms of sound and AV. We've all heard that our legacy formats are disintegrating and they have to be digitized immediately or they'll all disappear in a puff of smoke. The other side of that coin is that oftentimes you can't get a project funded unless you make those digital artifacts accessible.
Sure.
But archivists and librarians don't necessarily want to make things accessible that they haven't looked over.
Mm-hmm.
And so with time-based media, you have to have somebody sit and play things from the beginning to the end, or else they don't feel comcomfortable making them
Sure.
available online.
So this is potentially a processing tool as well as an analytical tool.
Yes.
That's great.
That's how we're seeing things. Yes.
We certainly need all the tools we can get.
Yes.
What else have you seen today that's been exciting for you?
It's exciting to see so many people interested in the same kinds of questions and coming at it in different ways, and also seeing the extent to which nobody seems to know any answers.
Yeah.
So it makes it an exciting space to do research.
We have come here today with all of our most interesting questions, right?
Yes, all the most interesting questions.
Well, we'll see you next year with all the answers.
Yes, we're going to figure that out.
Great. Thank you so much.
Sure.